Entertainment. Thank you so much for joining me. Doing an intro, but there's nobody here. This is for when it gets posted. I got my buddy, really good friend of mine for a long time here, named Drew. We're going to be getting to some discussions, just talking, stuff like that. Please feel free to hit the comment section. And when more people come in and I'm actually speaking to people, I will, hit a refresher. But for right now, we're kind of just going to wait for us to have a few people in, and we're just going to talk amongst ourselves about some stuff. Once I see a couple people in, we'll get into it. Right? Instead of kind of talking to nobody, and then having to start from the beginning.
Start us off. What you got written down in your little notebook there?
That is what I was gonna do, some God stuff and whatnot. I am gonna get into that, and I do like being structural. It's gonna get more structural as it goes on. As you see the coins here, I am in active recovery. I used to be an addict for a couple years, took of my life, and we'll get into that as well at some point. Do you want to say about yourself?
My name is Drew. I myself have experience with substance use. However, I don't necessarily attach any identity to that label.
Meaning he doesn't call himself a recovering addict or an addict or anything like that. He's just experiencing his experience.
Right, which I feel is a more organic approach to it. Because when you get into identity and labels, there's a certain attachment to that.
Yeah.
And it can be effective early on, but once, at least for me, once I've come to a certain point of understanding those labels, that identity, that attachment, is not something. It's not something that serves me.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah, so this is actually really personal that I'm gonna add to this. I had I had lost a child, and it's easier to lose a child when you don't put a name to it, when you don't find out the gender and then assign the name to it and assign the gender, then you have a name picked out and everything. That hurts a lot more because you see the potential and the could have beens, and it was a little easier because I had gotten the news right before getting the news of if it was a boy or a girl, so it was very unknown, and that's just on a personal level. I can relate to what you were saying. And we have one person. To you who's viewing, thank you very much for joining. We are just talking about two young guys here talking about our recovery. My name is Kalkin. We are from New York.
My name is Drew.
Drew, good buddy of mine. We got 5 people now. Thank you guys for joining me. Hi, Otio Tedo. How's it going? Hello to Lucian. We are just talking about our recovery pretty much, and just how we got into where we are. We're really good friends. We live in New York, and the last couple of years for both of us have been really hectic. He's gonna get on his side a little bit, and we're gonna tell you a little bit about ourselves and all that kind of stuff as well. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because I feel like we have a lot of great conversations that we can bring to the world and help somebody. Because just because we have an addiction and stuff like that doesn't mean that our experiences are going to hold us back. We're gonna keep fighting, and we're gonna try to change this world one video at a time, I guess. So thank you to the 13 people who have stayed. Hi to everyone who's saying hi. If you guys want to ask a question, please feel free to ask a question. Drew, do you want to kind of show this off with something?
Well, you mentioned change the world one video at a time, but it's not even about the world necessarily. Even if it's one person, somebody could be going through something, and something that we may say might give you some relief, some closure,
Right.
and that's all the more worth it too.
Absolutely. A lot of the reasons of why I personally got clean myself, a little while back, and my drug of choice was crack cocaine and heroin, and God saved me from that. I do still occasionally smoke marijuana, but that's not another story. But through everything I went through, I lost my train of thought.
Drug of choice, experience.
Oh yeah, all those experiences that I got, it was to better somebody else. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I went through it. But it is my job now to help the next generation not do it. You know what I mean? There's a good saying that I got written down here that I want to share with the 13 people here, and I hope you guys like it. It says, it gets easier and easier to find grace in absolutely everything when you think of it like this, right? Find grace in everything that you do have and don't have. Find grace in everything you have or haven't achieved. Because if you don't have it now, you can have it later. And if you haven't achieved it now, you can achieve it later. If I'm not ready now, I can be ready later. You know what I mean? So that just says, with in due time, everything is possible. Just because you don't have something now, be grateful that you don't have it, because at least the opportunity stands for you to still have it. My good friend here, Drew, actually, so we were talking about the cup full or cup empty, and he said a great thing. He goes,
At least you have a cup, right? So a lot of people, I'm sure many of us have heard that saying before: is the glass half empty or half full, right? And some time ago, through some self reflection and other thoughts I was running through my head, the idea that I have a cup to begin with, right, and I can fill that cup with whatever I want, and if whatever I fill it with doesn't serve me, I can throw that liquid out and put something else in it.
right, absolutely, exactly. At least you have a cup and you're in control. And to Drew be clapping him out, they already started with the gay jokes. We really don't care. You know what I mean? Any comment is a good comment to me. Thank you to the two people that are still here with us and who are, enjoying this kind of contact. No, we're both straight and I have a child. We're all good. Don't care about any of that. But back to the real stuff. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of videos that are going viral of the stupidest things. I'm talking about just the stupidest, about people making dumb faces and then, or a guy pretending to be a girl and acting girl. Like all these stuff are going viral. Why isn't it that something actually intellectual can't get through? I don't know, but we are in control of that. But yeah, thank you so much to the three people here.
Yeah, I just have one response to that one comment. Why are you gay?
Why are you gay? Why? Why must you come here and call us gay? Why are you gay?
Right. So to get that out of the way, you mentioned a lot of things that we do have control over, right? And as it may be difficult for some people, but at least for me, I do have the ability to choose what I think, how I feel, right? And that comes with certain understanding and realization over. It's not overnight. It comes with time.
Absolutely, it does. It does.
And being able to really become, the master of your mind, right? Become the master of your life, and realizing that we do have choice, right? And what we do with that choice is what makes things meaningful.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. About choices too. You're not in control. This is another good thing that I learned going into meetings. You're not in control of your very first thought that you get. I find myself when I'm in prayer, right, for explicit images to enter my head, right? I mean, one time that I screwed with a girl and this and that, and I've noticed I can't control those thoughts. Not the initial very first thought. I can control them. I just can't. The fact that I think, oh, I want to use, or I think about the times that I use, I can't control me getting those thoughts, right? But I can't control my action. And if I give all my control over to my first thought, I will never be in control of my first action. Right? You agree with that, right? That was a pretty good one. I hope you guys like that one. Share, like, comment, subscribe. And this guy still sends some weird messages talking about he's definitely on top. Let's see armpits. You guys are fucking freaking don't matter. Well, we're gonna stay with something real. Thank you for the comments though, because any comment is a good comment. You're showing that you're interactive with the video, and we do appreciate that. Here, matter of fact, you want to see an armpit? There's my armpit. Now let's you fucking retards. You know what I mean? That's what you want people to go viral for. It's just something, Oh, another moderator just handled this. Wonderful. You guys are commenting some stupid shit and they're blocking them. Well, thank you for the 6 people who are taking this serious. We are just trying to bring our experience to light,
And I can speak on some experience of my own with difficult people. And what that really shows is what level they are on, where they are in their life. and who knows, something could be
happening in their life.
happening in their life.
Right.
They'd be going through something, and this is the only way for them to address that, to cope with it.
4 out of 10 average pit. I'm sorry. Thank you very much for complimenting my pit. You're the man. Go ahead. Keep going.
You guys are
Something.
something is a word for it.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the word is, but something is.
So, I was gonna say this to the 4 people who are here. I don't know if you guys are alone or anything like that in life, right? But we're trying to bring some positivity. So please keep the comments positive. We're not really gonna entertain the garbage. To us, this actually means something to us. This is some of our lives. There's only 2 people here, and that's just okay. Because we're doing this for us. We're not really doing this for the world. So thank you to the people who do appreciate this. And again, you guys can ask questions, leave a comment, etc., etc.
And a comment on
the topic.
other comments, right?
Right, on anything else.
It gives us an opportunity to turn what somebody may
Ask
or throw shade on us, or for whatever reason,
for something positive. If you don't agree with us or something like that,
it actually gives us an opportunity to have a deeper conversation.
Right, to better each other in some kind of way. Because no matter what I do, I can't make my armpit any more handsomer. So what I can do is I can help you guys feel fulfilled in life and tell you what fulfilled me, and not to preach too much. So this is what's really cool about this conversation. I'm personally a follower of Christ to the day that I die. I love Jesus, as you see here with my little cup here. This is my cup here, right? And I wouldn't say Jewish so much as an agnostic, but he just doesn't believe necessarily in Jesus theory, or
no. This is where we
this is where we differ.
Well, not necessarily differ. It's where we get some clarification, right? So I have my understanding of the Gospels and Scripture, and it's not that I don't believe it, but I believe it.
Once again, remember that thought. Bobby Yost, if you can hit me up on a personal thing, like on my Facebook is under King Eternity, or For Eternity Entertainment. So if you can message me there, we can talk about that there. I'm not sure what that mods are. I don't know. But thank you very much for being here, and I do appreciate your time. Thank you. Sorry.
So it's not in so much what we defer and what we believe, but it's how we believe it.
Right. How we right, because if we implement it or not.
Right.
It doesn't matter if we believe in Jesus or not, if we're living like a piece of shit. Absolutely. And that's what I feel like really that kind of makes you push away from Christianity. It's probably you see a lot of that two-facedness, you know what I mean? People don't actually have Christ-like lives, and maybe it's impossible to live that way, but they do it in such a way where it shines a bad light on people who are followers of Christ.
All right, and that's certainly a valid point. But what point I really want to drive home is
it's for boomers. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure what it is. It's for boomers, bro. Listen, I'm brand spanking new. I just got 50 new subscribers, and I'm brand spanking new. I don't know what that is. My personal Facebook is Kalkin Jimenez. KalkinJimenez. Okay, I probably shouldn't be putting it out there, but I don't really care. I'll block anybody who messages me, and if I have to, I'll delete it and make a new one. I really don't care. But if you want to message me about that, I do want to learn about this stuff. Like I said, I'm trying to bring positivity to this. And my fucking phone died! No!